Hello Cancer, this is your reading for Love and Relationships, July 2017. I also want to wish the majority of you Cancers happy birthday. I know that some of you celebrated your birthday the last 10 days, the last week in June. So happy birthday to you. So let's see what your birthday month has in store for you. Okay. We have a Ten of Swords. I have a Six of Cups. This is the Sun, and it's been showing up a lot in the other readings. A Four of Wands. I have a Ten of Wands reversed. Five of Wands. So you have three wands in a row. Very fiery July. This is a Four of Swords. A Six of Swords. Swords and Wands. And then a Nine of Cups. Okay, Cancer. So, very interesting for you because you do have some cups and you have a lovely, just one major arcana card, the Sun, which is always good because the Sun is a major arcana card and it's a reassurance. It's sort of like, it's such a strong card. It's reassurance that even if things are not going well now, the Sun is sort of like a guarantee that it's sort of like a good omen, all right? There will be happier times. Things will get better. So even though the Sun is back here in your early part of the month or in somewhere in past influences, you should sort of just be very take everything else, especially since it's the only major arcana card, look at everything else as just moving towards a better outcome. Okay. Also, it's not uncommon for the Sun to show up, seeing that summer solstice was a couple weeks ago. And so that energy is probably showing up in all the readings for this month. So yeah, you have cups, but I'm sort of amazed with the wands and the swords. You have three swords and three wands. Swords usually indicate a lot of psychological anxiety and stress and, you know, mental chaos, a little bit of mental chaos. And then the wands are fiery. They can be very symbolic of your personal will and desire and your motivations and pushing forward. Wands are about the energy that pushes you through obstacles. It's about being inspired and passionate. So I'm pretty sure that there's some of you Cancers who have that water energy, who could be attached to someone who's very fiery as well. Also with the swords, with the air, like I said, sometimes most of the swords in the tarot speak to a lot of anxiety or stress or drama, the psychological aspects of our lives where it's a combination of our subconscious and conscious, being rational, thinking, making decisions. So I get a sense that July, lots of milestones for some of you where not only is your birthday coming, but lots of personal changes and shifts that are coming into your life. But you should consider those shifts and changes for the better. So when I look at those first three cards, we come out of a Ten of Swords, which is a little bit of a funk for some of you. It ranges, many different experiences for you Cancers. Not all of you, it can never be the same. But just consider that Ten of Swords as the first card pulling out of a funk. We also have a Six of Cups, water, which is your element. We're looking at family relationships, memories of the past, long histories with your relationships and your partners and your romances, missing someone. Maybe for some of you, someone from the past is still going to be relevant. The past in general for most of you will be very significant, leading into some hope and a positive outlook for the future. And it just occurred to me, some of you could be having a lot of issues with your relationships, long-term relationships. And so maybe some of you are coming into the month of July dealing with, oh God, this is so stressful. Our relationship has been under a lot of stress, but you're finding your balance, and you're finding a good, happy place. So when we get here with all this wands and fire here, take note that Four of Wands, it's about working towards working through a struggle and coming out on top. It is a little bit of a celebration, the Four of Wands, but it's also about specifically about working through the obstacles, the things that are holding you back, accepting those difficult times and saying, you know what, we're going to get through this. Okay. Things are difficult now, but they're not going to be difficult always. Okay. So this is about finally having joy, being free, and getting to a happy place in your relationship. Also keep in mind celebrations, engagements, babies, things like that. Also, this Ten of Wands is reversed, and it's important, especially since it's in the middle of your card, not to be overwhelmed, because anytime you have reversals, the energies tend to increase. Okay, sometimes when this is upright, this does mean having too much going on, and then when it's reversed, we can head into a breakdown. We're just completely exhausted. And Cancers, you are, because you're water, like any water sign, mentally and emotionally, you take on so much. You care for so many people, especially your families, your partners, your children. So you have to be careful about that, because then we have that conflict with the Five of Wands, the different agendas, and just basically emotionally trying to reconcile all those different agendas in the relationship. And specifically in regards to some of your boyfriends, girlfriends, your partners, your significant others. This Four of Wands, a happy event, good things like a baby or marriage, they usually bring their own kind of stress as well. There's usually a disagreement that will happen eventually. And so this whole row right here with the Four of Wands, Ten of Wands reversed, and the Five of Wands, the good things that are happening in your life also bring responsibilities, negotiations, compromises, you and this other person seeing things the same way. And especially if this other person is a fire sign for some of you, lots of obstacles with their way of seeing things and their differences. So when I look here in this last row with the Four of Swords and the Six of Swords, some Swords energy coming back in your future. Four of Swords is the card of taking a break, resting, hiding away. And Cancer, you're definitely not above that. In fact, Cancer, you do tend to take that personal time, and sometimes some of you emotionally just like, I'm not available. You sort of close off and you do take that me time. And then there's traveling, new places, a new home for some of you. It's not uncommon for some of you to be taking vacations and getaways. When I look at this Six of Swords, it's quite possible. What I'm feeling is that for some of you, there is going to be a transition during the summer to a new home and moving. But also on an emotional level, keep in mind The Six of Swords has a combination. That oar is sort of like a wand. There are swords in the boat, but you're traveling over water, your element. You're emotionally reconciling and healing for some of you. So the Four of Swords is about taking a break, taking a retreat, and for some of you, you might actually be traveling. And for those of you recovering from a breakup or someone that you've been distanced from, and that certainly could be the case here with all these wands right here in the middle, it seems as if this is break time to get some distance. And then that's when we come up with the Nine of Cups, which is emotional contentment and happiness. And 9 is that number of closure. So that's always a good thing. So a lot of ups and downs emotionally, I think. A lot of stress. And some of you, I get a sense, are going through a bit of emotional turmoil in your relationships. For some of you, it could even be more intense, where are we going to make up or break up? Are we going to resolve this issue? And I get a feeling that perhaps you will, especially with the intensity of these swords here. So let's shuffle for the outcome card. And we have an 8 of Cups, which is amazing. 8 of Cups is the card of finding yourself emotionally, just taking more of a break. You do have a 9 of Cups with happiness, but this 8 of Cups is even more significant because you go from a 9 to 8, which I think is pretty interesting. Why are you going from a 9 to 8? Well, it's not uncommon to find a happy space. A place that makes you happy. But it wouldn't be out of the ordinary that after finding your happiness that you decide that there's also a need to moving on to even a new job or a new home. Keep in mind that the Six of Swords was about traveling. So I get this weird feeling when I look at the progression of these last 3 cards, the Four of Cards, which is about retreating, taking a break, traveling, emotional security, and then emotionally moving on. I feel that for some of you Cancers, all of this wands and all of this fire is just too much for you. Not necessarily the sun, because the sun as fire, as heat, illuminates. It gives you happiness. It gives you joy. The purpose of the sun is to brighten up and help you see the positive side of things. But I do get a feeling that there was a lot of intensity, a lot of stress in the relationships for some of you, and there might be a break that some of you will consciously decide, I've had enough and I need to take a rest, and I might need to move on. And there are many scenarios that could be described by this. You might go on a cruise this summer and meet someone new, and then you decide when you come back, well, no, I think I don't want to go back to my old relationship. I'm ready to move on. So lots of traveling and emotional transitions here coming for you in July and heading into August. But as the sun is projecting here in your reading, you have nothing to be afraid of, because clearly some of you Cancers need that. You need a celebration. You need to feel happy. So maybe this Four of Wands, some of you are celebrating your birthday, but also this is about reevaluating what some of you really want in life from your relationships. And you might be ready to tell someone, I've been through a lot, as indicated with the Six of Cups. Let's take a break. Time to move on. Time to be happy. Time to find myself. So don't be afraid of doing that. You might find that it's absolutely necessary. And even if you don't feel that way now, there's a good chance heading into the by the time summer's over, I get a feeling that some of you will be reevaluating and deciding, well, maybe this is what I need. And the sun could be promising those new opportunities that could be changing your mind. So, Cancer, that was your reading. And I want to thank everyone as usual for your support. Also, I am really going to have to cut back on my availability for tarot readings. I have sort of like I'm a teacher and I have an incredibly wonky schedule this summer and heading into fall. I'm pretty much going to be working full time in addition to other obligations. So unfortunately, my readings, my appointments are going to be limited to Fridays and Saturday afternoons and some evenings. But I will update my schedule. And for my regular customers, I'm always looking out for you. So feel free to shoot me an email if there's anything I can do for you. So thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying your summer, and I wish you love and light.